Hello, this is Ross Bliley from the podcast Pigskin Tales. This podcast is sponsored by Sterling Soap Company. With products sold throughout 41 locations around the globe, Sterling Soap Company has a unique assortment of products to choose from for your loved one for the holidays. Handmade artisan soaps created by Roderick and Amanda Lovin since 2012, these products are affordable and provide great value. Act now and save on your shipping costs. If you purchase $75 or more, your shipping cost is free in the United States. Shop now online at sterlingsoap.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today we're going to talk about the frustrating history of the New York Jets. Although I was a Dallas Cowboys fan as a young boy, I couldn't help but root for the Giants and Jets, unless, of course, they were playing the Cowboys. After all, I grew up in Bloomfield, New Jersey, just 30 miles from Shea Stadium, 20 miles from Yankee Stadium, and only 8 miles from Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands. I also couldn't help feeling sorry for Jets fans. My wife's whole family are Jets fans, and I can't imagine how frustrating it must be. The New York Jets were one of the 8 original AFL teams to join the new league in 1960. But they weren't the Jets yet. They were the New York Titans. Their head coach was Sammy Baugh, the legendary quarterback for the Washington Redskins from 1937 to 1952. The Titans played their first season at the Polo Grounds. The stadium was old, but they had it all to themselves. The last team to use it, the New York Baseball Giants, moved to San Francisco in 1958. The Titans finished the 1960 season with a 7-7 record. Receiver Art Powell, guard Mike Mischek, and linebacker Larry Grantham made All-Pro. They finished the 1961 season with the same 7-7 record. Quarterback Al Darrow, fullback Bill Mathis, guard Bob Mischek, linebacker Larry Grantham, and cornerback Dick Felt made the Pro Bowl. Mathis, Mischek, and Grantham also made All-Pro. 1962 saw a new head coach in Clyde Bulldog Turner, but the team digressed and finished the season with a 5-9 record. Running back Dick Christie, Bob Mischek, and Larry Grantham made the Pro Bowl. Grantham also made All-Pro. The Titans changed their name to the Jets in 1963. They also had a new head coach in Weed Eubank and would play in the brand new Shea Stadium. But the losing continued as the team finished with a disappointing 5-8-1 record. Bill Mathis, receiver Bake Turner, and Larry Grantham made the Pro Bowl. Grantham made All-Pro again. The Jets finished the 1964 season with the same 5-8-1 record, their third losing season in a row. Rookie fullback Matt Snell, tackles Winston Hill and Sherman Plunkett, and safety Denard Paulson and Larry Grantham made the Pro Bowl. Grantham made All-Pro for the 5th year in a row. The Jets had a new quarterback in 1965. Number 1 draft choice, Joe Namath from the University of Alabama. But once again, the Jets finished the season with a 5-8-1 record. Receiver Don Maynard, Joe Namath, and Denard Paulson made the Pro Bowl. After 4 losing seasons in a row, the Jets broke even in 1966, finishing the season at 6-6-2. Receiver George Sauer, running back Matt Snell, tackle Sherman Plunkett, and defensive end Verlin Biggs made the Pro Bowl. After 7 years in the league, the Jets had yet to have a winning season. But that would change in 1967. After 10 games, the Jets were in first place in the Eastern Division with a 7-2-1 record. But they lost 3 of the last 4 games and finished the season in second place with an 8-5-1 record. Joe Namath, Don Maynard, Verlin Biggs, and George Sauer made the Pro Bowl, along with tight end Pete Lannings and offensive tackle Winston Hill. George Sauer also made All-Pro. The Jets finished the 1968 season with an impressive 11-3 record and would face the 13-2 Oakland Raiders in the AFL Championship. The Jets won a hard-fought game, 27-23, and would now play the NFL champion Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. The Colts were heavily favored to win, and with good reason. They lost only 1 game the entire season and avenged that loss in the NFL Championship with a 34-0 thrashing of the Cleveland Browns. But the Jets weren't exactly chopped liver. They only lost 3 games and defeated the 1966 AFL champion Kansas City Chiefs and the 1967 AFL champion Oakland Raiders. They also beat the 9-5 San Diego Chargers twice. The Jets went on to defeat the Colts 16-7 in what is still regarded as one of the biggest upsets in pro football history. Joe Namath was voted Super Bowl MVP and AFL MVP. 10 Jets made the Pro Bowl. On offense, guard Dave Herman, tackle Winston Hill, running back Emerson Boozer, Joe Namath, George Sauer, and Don Maynard. On defense, defensive ends Jerry Philbin and Verlin Biggs, defensive tackle John Elliott, and middle linebacker Al Atkinson. Namath, Sauer, and Philbin also made All-Pro. The Jets went into the 1969 season with high hopes of getting back to the Super Bowl to defend their title. They finished the regular season with a 10-4 record and played the Chiefs in the playoffs. It was a tough defensive battle, but the Jets came up short, losing 13-6. Joe Namath, Matt Snell, Don Maynard, Winston Hill, Dave Herman, George Sauer, Larry Grantham, John Elliott, and Jerry Philbin made the Pro Bowl. Namath was again voted AFL MVP, while Philbin, Elliott, Maynard, and Snell made All-Pro. Okay, that will conclude our podcast for today. Join me again next week, and we will have part 2, starting with the 1970 season, the first season of the AFL and NFL merger. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.